What up, everybody? This is yours truly, Rama Screen, and it's time for another celeb interview. And I watched this awesome new movie called Rogue, which will be available on digital August 28th and on Blu-ray September 1st. And I'm here to interview one of the stars of this film, Jessica Sutton. Jessica, how you doing?
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for the time. And this movie is so exciting. I mean, your character in this film, she was in cages, and then she walked, she walked through miles on the desert, and then of course, you've done some action in Motherland, Fort Salem, but this is a very grueling, tough condition movie to make. I mean, your character ends up like bruised and battered by the end of it. What was that like, your experience making this film, and was it as physically draining as it looked?
Well, it was very surreal. I'm very lucky to do what I do. Most of the time, there's at least one moment every day when I'm walking onto a film set that I don't go, holy shit, this is what I get to do and call work. It is grueling. There's always these challenges, and it's tougher than you think it would be. And somehow also it's unbelievably fun, and you're growing as a person and as an artist, and you're working with the most incredible people. So yes and other things. But yeah, from warrior witch, fantastical, to grueling, adventure packed, in a school uniform, covered in fake blood. It's like I get to live two lives. and get to call it a job, but it's amazing. And I mean, look, there was so many days on Rogue which we all felt we're gonna do that. I mean, we're gonna go down that ravine, or we're gonna hold that baby lion cub, and you start thinking, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. And then you do it, you surprise yourself, and you realize that you're stronger and braver than you thought you would be.
Excellent.
So, yeah. But the night shooting, let me tell you,
Oh, yes.
Rama, the night shooting was probably the biggest challenge. Yeah, because we shot a month and a bit of night shooting, which really screws up your body clock.
Ooh, man, and you did it like a champ. Kudos to you.
Yeah. We all did. But, MJ, our brilliant director, MJ Bassett, was saying, when she pitched it to me, because we'd worked before on Inside Man 2, and she is so formidable, such a force of nature. I love every time I work with her, I'm just like, when can we do it again? Can we do it again? And pretty much after Inside Man 2, she followed me to Vancouver, directed an episode of Motherland, Fort Salem, and pitched me this passion project that her and her daughter had co-written, and said, will you come? It's back on home turf, back in South Africa, and I want to shoot this feature with you. And I was like, yes. I didn't even need to see a script. It was just working with her again. So yeah.
So shooting in a familiar place like your homeland, how did that help your performance or your shaping your character?
Well, it was a real treat to be able to work in my own accent. That was great. I'd never really done that before. Weirdly enough, outside of student films, I never booked anything that didn't require me to do a different accent, be it British RP or American, standard American. So yeah, it felt strange in some ways. And I don't know, I get so influenced by costume. I'm very tactile like that. So, put me in a school uniform and both the pigtails, and you start realizing your body's moving a bit differently. You're sitting, you're standing. And I mean, also you're being so blown away by the talent that surrounds you. I mean, learning lines is one thing, knowing what you have to say in a scene, but getting on set on the day, having a director who has such a clear vision, who will give you enough direction, but also an equal amount of amount of trust to know that you can deliver. And then you're working with the best casting crew, South African casting crew, an incredible international cast as well, Megan Fox and Philip Winchester. And, you know, your whole performance is basically in their hands because they're giving you so much. And yeah, you don't work in a vacuum. So much influences a performance. I can't have it down to just being home, but it felt emotional, and it felt really precious to have shot on home turf.
All right.
Because I've always wanted to do that.
Now, this is obviously not the Megan Fox from Transformers movies. You know, she's not a damsel in distress. This is a badass, fire-powered Megan Fox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, she's a badass. I mean, I don't think I've seen a film where she isn't a badass. Jennifer's Body. I mean, I'm just like racking my brain. She's probably the most badass. And in person, she's wonderful. It was such an incredible experience. So professional, so generous, so kind, and we just had a great connection.
And did she bestow some acting wisdom on you, having been in the business longer than you?
Yeah, tons.
Yeah.
Tons. And, you know, generously also shared about balancing private and personal life. Because I think, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm 27, and I think it's kind of realizing if I'm wanting a family at some point. I think it's too early now. I'm not thinking about having kids, but I know that you know, that this business, the nature of it, you don't know where you're going to be, you know, from one moment to the next. And it demands a lot of travel, a lot of time away. And it's an all-consuming thing. So when you're going in to shoot that 25-day feature, or whether it's a, you know, 9-month shoot for a series, you're asking a lot from your people, your family, your friends, and understanding that they're kind of losing you for a bit. You're like, I'm just going to go drop off the world for a bit, become this character, do this show, and then I'll stick my head out when I'm back. So yeah, I think I had a lot of questions around how do they do that? And yeah, both Megan and Philip shared and had great and moving stories, and I was just kind of taking notes. I'm like, yes, okay.
As I'm winding down to my final questions, I gotta ask this. This movie points out to two things: lion conservation and raising awareness about human trafficking. How do you think MJ and Isabel did in striking a balance between both themes and conveying them to the audiences?
Well, I will say, you know, for me, because when I'm trying to pitch the show to my friends, I'm like, it's mayhem with a message. And if, you know, Megan Fox and a man-eating lioness doesn't enthrall you to watch it, then I hope the messages will resonate. And for me, the message, when on first kind of reading it, I almost forgot the trafficking, the human trafficking component to it, even though that was my character's backstory and very much part of the story that's being told. I think there's a bigger light that's being shed on raising awareness on the lion canning industry in Africa, and it's hugely important. And for those of the audience who don't know what that is, it's that lions are bred in captivity purely to be butchered for their parts and sold to rich foreigners who will purchase these parts as like hunting trophies. And it's disgusting, and it needs to be stopped. And I think, you know, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give the film away, because that's very much where the heartbeat of the show lies. But yeah, actually, your question now makes me think about the human trafficking aspect of that.
But it's definitely effective as a movie.
It's all beautifully woven into a very human, very moving story. And when I'm trying to summarize Rogue, because it's quite hard, you've got two storylines going. You've got one about this rogue lioness and the other about this rescue mission that goes wrong, and how those two stories collide. So yeah, it's intricate, but yeah, I was so moved. We got to see it. We got a little link to watch it, and that by the end of it, I was, you know, I used to be terrible at watching my own stuff, and I'm not able to. Well, I go in to think, okay, I can't be objective about this because I'm in it, and I don't know if I'm going to, because I know what the story is, if I'm going to still be pulled into it. And I found myself watching it being totally transported as if I'd never been a part of it, which I think speaks to how good a filmmaker MJ Bassett is, and just the talent of the performers. We've got, I mean, yeah. I was just like, wow. And then by the end, I'm just really hit by the little excerpt, the insert that follows it, that really just talks about the canning industry. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful film.
I know you signed NDA or something, but what can you tell us Motherland Fort Salem fans about season 2 from a bird's eye viewpoint about Tally? What can we anticipate? Give a hint, give a tease.
Okay, because I met the writers' room like 2 weeks ago. We spoke, we had the whole briefing of season 2, and I sat there for the entire 45, I want to say it was close to probably 90 minutes, but I lost time because they just, psychological warfare is all I'm going to leave you with. It's going to get, holy shit. So I know I'm already feeling excited and apprehensive and terrified, and I just know when I'm feeling like that, having not even read the scripts yet, I know that season 2 is going to be amazing. So
all right, everybody,
I can't say more.
I totally understand. Now everybody go watch Rogue on digital August 28th and on Blu-ray September 1st. Thank you so much, Jessica, for talking with me.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.